Hello everyone, welcome back to the Fabrication Shop. Today we'll be looking at starting construction of our Explorer Alpha rocket. If you're new to the channel, we want to encourage you to subscribe and hit the bell so that you can be notified when we drop our next video. In our last episode, we finished designing the Explorer Alpha. In this episode, we're going to start construction, and the first step in that process is gathering all the materials we need to start building the rocket. When it comes to building supplies, we will need a BT50 body tube, a plastic nose cone, a sheet of 3/32 balsa wood, a BT20 engine tube, a 1/8 inch launch lug, two 2050 centering rings, an 18mm engine block, an engine mount sleeve, and an engine hook. Our recovery system parts include a 12-inch parachute, an elastic band, and two snap swivels. The tools and supplies we will need starting out include a hobby knife, a ruler, a pencil, as well as some wood glue and plastic model cement. We will do the construction of the Explorer Alpha as a series of sub-assemblies. First, we'll do the motor mount, then the fins, and then the recovery system. We'll finish construction by combining all these sub-assemblies into a completed rocket. The first sub-assembly is the engine mount. Begin by marking the engine mount for the centering rings, the engine hook, and the sleeve. If one of the centering rings you have is not split, cut out a 1/8 inch section from the ring to allow the engine hook to move up and down. Use an old engine tube to provide support under the ring while you cut it. Next, we'll move on to the engine mount tube. Cut a small slot for the engine hook. Insert the motor block near the location of the slot, again to provide some support to the tube as you cut the slot. Do not place your finger in the tube when you cut the slot, or you will cut more than the slot open. Insert your engine hook into the slot. Next, attach the forward centering ring. Then slide on the retaining ring. And then the aft centering ring. Finally, glue the motor block inside the engine tube so that it touches the engine hook. Set this assembly aside to dry. The second subassembly is the fins. First, we'll check the fin pattern scale against a ruler to make sure it's the correct size. Once that is confirmed, cut the pattern from the paper using a knife and a ruler. It's not recommended to use scissors to cut this out. Next, lay the fin pattern against the wood. The leading edge of the fin should be going in the same direction as the wood grain. This is very important so that we can maintain the strength of the fin. We then lay out the 4 fins on our balsa sheet. If you're careful with cutting out the fins, you can align the fins next to each other as shown here. Use a straight edge as a guide when cutting. Do not try to cut out the fins in a single cut. Make multiple cuts. It will work so much better and you'll get a much nicer cut in the end. Always try to keep the knife at a 90-degree angle to the wood. With the 4 fins cut out, stack them together. We will now sand all 4 of the fins together as a group to ensure they're all the same size. Once we have them the same size, we'll take each individual fin and sand the leading edges round. All the other fin edges we can leave square. Once we're done with that, set the fins aside. The last subassembly we are going to tackle is the recovery system. And it's actually several subassemblies within itself. The first part is cutting out the trifold shock cord mount. You also need to cut the elastic band to about 36 inches in length, or 92 centimeters. We want to glue the elastic band into the trifold mount. Angle the band so that it helps lock the band into the mount. Once you have it all glued together, set it aside to dry. If you're using a two-piece nose cone, glue the nose cone parts together and set them aside to dry. Next is the parachute. If it needs to be assembled by attaching shroud lines, go ahead and do that at this time. Finally, we want to attach snap swivels to both the parachute and the elastic band. That concludes this episode on creating the subassemblies for the Explorer Alpha. In our next episode, we'll look at putting these assemblies together. If you have enjoyed this video and if you like what we're doing here, please click on the like and subscribe buttons. If you hit the bell, you'll be notified when we drop our next video. So until next time, wishing you all the best and take care.